Right, and we were talking before we started rolling, we were talking about differences in the kind of man that one may be, because I think masculinity is in a very interesting place.
Well, some people think you have to smash a bunch of girls, make a bunch of money. They think you need a Bugatti, right? And then some guys are like very conservative, very traditional. They think you have to be a man of God. You have to just do everything you can to be a good human. You have to have a mission, a purpose. They think you should get married right away to one woman and that's it. So there's a mix, because I do think that there's merit with both of them.
Right.
And we're talking about it because David's big on Khabib.
Yeah.
Because Khabib, I was saying, is like the idealistic man, right? Like his entire life doesn't have eyes for any other women. Goes, fights 29 fights, undefeated in the UFC. All he does is train, pray. He's a man of God, man of faith. He's Muslim, so it's Allah. But he literally, all he does is Allah, his wife, train. That's it. That's his purpose. And he has no distractions. He has blinders on, like David was saying. And there's something admirable about that, something honorable. For him, it's all about honor and legacy. And it's beautiful to see it, because you see it, you're like, wow, I aspire to be like that. He has no worldly distractions.
Right, and he's like the epitome of like a character out of Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like he's like, all right, my entire life is training and getting better, and when I'm not training and getting better, it's my family, it's God, that's it.
He's Goku.
No distraction. He's literally,
He's Goku.
Right? So with that being the case, you look at that, and you're like, man, that's a great high point of masculinity. And you were talking about how you don't think it's very realistic because it's uncommon. Now, with the vast amount of distractions that exist, and moreover, the vast amount of people that are being distracted.
To be that big, I can say this from experience. The richer, the more famous you get, the more distractions appear in your life.
Absolutely.
Like when you're broke, it's easy to have no distractions, right? That's why I'm blown away. When people are broke and they have distractions, it's like, what the fuck is distracting me? There's nothing fun down there. There's nothing fun down there. There's nothing fun on the first floor. And you're finding a way to get distracted by these mundane things. Imagine if you had money, you'd get fucking distracted.
It'd be over.
Because the second, right, if Khabib is Goku, the negative response, because Khabib, unfazed by women, unfazed by money, legacy, honor only, getting better, being the best version of yourself. Then you have the evil side, or like the opposite of Khabib, which is Conor McGregor, which is what made their trilogy, or not their trilogy, their fight so interesting, because he's the guy that's like brash. He's fazed by money and women, as we've seen,
and
like
pride.
The way his career, and pride. He's like the Vegeta.
He's a Vegeta.
He's the Vegeta. And that's what made it so interesting. But that's a guy who was great, and you could see he was hungry. He was pure coming up. But then as soon as he made $100 million, he got distracted. He's like drugs, hedonism, women. Dude's he's no longer like the Conor of old that was like...
Right, because he accomplished his goal. Because I was talking about how he had a quote in 2013, and he was talking about how when he makes it, he'll be champion. His name will be synonymous around the world. He'll be able to buy that house for his wife. She'll be able to drive whatever amount of car for whatever days of the week it may be. His parents will be taken care of. His children will be in a situation where they don't have to worry about anything. And he accomplished the goal. And I'll never forget, there was a video, I think it came out in 2018 or 2019, where somebody was reading the quote to him. And you could look on his face, he was filled with emotion because he achieved everything. And Marvin Hagler had a quote where he said, it's very difficult to get up at 5 a.m. and run when you're wearing silk pajamas. Right? And that's truly it, where it depends on what your end goal is. What is it? What's your motivation? What's your motivation? What is it that you're really doing? What it is that you're doing? What are you doing it for? And when you find yourself in a situation like McGregor, where it was all about taking care of those, you know, who you loved and submitting your legacy. Well, you've done that. So now what?
Exactly. And I think once he hit that like point, you see his performance. He hasn't won a fight in like years, right?
Plateaued. I think he's won like 1 of 5. It's almost like Anderson Silva.
And
with Silva, it's like, yo, you're
Silva, he's the GOAT, but he looks like
he's the greatest of all time. And he should have walked away, but then he had no other love. There was no other way to pivot. Because he's almost like, if I were to go into pro wrestling, he's like a Ric Flair. You're the greatest of all time. You just don't know how to let go, because this is all that you know. This is all that you really are in your own eyes.
But even with Conor McGregor, I think for now he just does it because there's nothing else to do. I think it's a pride thing, the reason he keeps fighting. It's like a pride thing. He wants to show he's still the best, but he doesn't have that dog in him anymore. So that's the thing, right? When you measure masculinity or what makes a man great, is it honor? Is it legacy like Khabib? Is it staying true to the path of God? Or is it achievements and accomplishments like Conor McGregor? Because there's two things, because you can look at Conor McGregor and be like, that's a masculine guy. He's accomplished everything, right? He has achievements. He's still leaving a legacy in a sense. Or you look at Khabib and it's like he did it a different way.
Right.
So what is your measure of a man in that case?
I would lean more towards Khabib because all of the worldly things, because granted, we can both reach the same destination, but take different roads to get
100%.
there, right? Like I think everybody's seen the meme or the cartoon where they had, it's like a track race. One has all of the obstacles. You have the steeplechase that's up in there. You got the hurdles that are in there. There's like knives or whatever, the spikes that's in the floor that you have to go through. Yeah. And the other person has like a clean path. Now, when we both finish the race, we will have made it to the destination, but we had different paths to go there.
Facts.
For me, I would lean more towards the Khabib route because there's a level of honor that exists there. Now, granted, we all have different circumstances, but I think there's a level of morals that one should have or a code that you should live by. I think with Tony Montana in Scarface, he said, in this life, all I have is my word and my balls, or some of that nature. So if you're in a situation where you're an honorable man, I think that's the highest peak level of masculinity.